the whole show, I swear to you, Todd, it was written by somebody with a foot fetish. And I'll tell you why. In
What?
every freaking scene, she's lounging like a cat on the captain's chair, like sideways, like she's at a coffee shop in San Francisco, basically, with her feet bare, showing zero respect for the rank and file or the ship or anything, just being like this empathy counselor
Well,
to
I
a
don't I
bunch
don't
of,
understand, like,
my God, it's
how
horrible.
would a captain of a ship be on the bridge
Hmm.
without shoes on?
Yeah, like all the time.
There's no military anything ever that's gonna let you walk around barefoot.
Yeah. No, and she's not only walking around barefoot or whatever, she's sitting sideways, like lounging on the chair. Like,
I don't know if anyone would discipline her on the grounds of not using the chair correctly, improper usage of throne, but the fact of not having acceptable hygienic footwear on would be enough for someone to get her in trouble, no matter what her rank is.
hey, everybody, welcome back. This is Gonzalo Herrero, your usual host of all things nerdy and jacked. So, Geeked and Jacked, with my faithful companion and friend, Dr. Todd Lee. We have not done this in too long. How are you doing, Todd?
Good, man. It's hard to believe that it's been almost 6 months
I know.
because it just flew by.
It's how it is, man. We both, we have lives, we have things we do. There's the bodybuilding aspect of it, so which you trained super hard. You had the competition, which we haven't even, I don't think we even talked about the show that you did or the shows you did. Or if we did, it was like right when we kind of dropped the ball on this. But here we go. Let's talk about, well, first of all, let's talk about the big thing in the room, which was that we both ended up going to the Arnold and meeting in person, which was awesome, by the way. That was super awesome.
It was cool.
Next year, we'll spend more time together, my friend. We'll
Yes.
we'll make sure it's so people who are new to the experience or who have never been, I don't think even if you prepare that you're ready for how overwhelmingly crowded and crazy it is, and what an experience, that you have to plan everything out because
Yeah,
you'll
that
miss
that
out on.
was the thing is that's why I get there Wednesday and I still stay till Monday is because I know how chaotic it's gonna be. So
Yeah.
if I'm gonna try to set up interviews, I have to be there before and I have to be there after because the athletes are gonna be busy Friday or Saturday.
Oh, for sure. And then I miscalculated because I flew out thinking Sunday there was really not much to do without really reading the schedule. Noob mistake. I actually created a whole episode of newbie mistakes to avoid, which is on the channel for so that people that don't make my mistakes, that they learn from me, hopefully, how to
Interesting.
plan for it and all that.
I don't even
So
think about that kind of stuff.
well, you're a veteran though. This is
Like
what do you do?
I wear like cargo short pants and I've got like Tums,
Uh,
baby wipes,
uh
things like a chicken breast and bags.
That's smart.
Water, like those water enhancers, so I can buy a bottle of water, put that in,
And keep
you know,
walking, yeah. Yeah.
that to me
And the
is
other thing,
basic.
I don't sorry, I was gonna say, like, I don't think people realize, so when you travel and that you're on your feet all day, every day at that place, if you're at the expo, it's like just constantly seeing things, and you will walk your 10,000 plus steps easily, just seeing stuff,
Well,
there's so much.
normally I'd carry a book bag around me with me
Yeah.
over my shoulder, but it was screwing up the logos and the scanning stuff that was on my back. Like my team had funny shirts made with QR codes so people can scan it that takes them to the Instagram page.
Oh,
And for
nice.
the backpack, it wouldn't work. So what they did is they had Valhalla Lab cargo pants made. So I
Yeah,
put my inhaler, my baby wipes, my chicken breast, my Tums,
right, and carry
all
it
that
like
stuff
that,
in
like,
my cargo pants.
yeah.
I didn't have to carry a backpack around.
That's smart because I did have a backpack the whole time I was there because I mean it's there's samples being thrown every 5 seconds your way. There's, the stuff you want to buy. And it just piles up throughout the day, so you've got to have these solutions and it was smart. The whole chicken breast thing, I know a lot of people are probably going to go like, why in the hell would you do that? It's like because if you are wanting to keep a strict diet and a good one, a convention center is probably the worst place in the world for it because it's all going to be fast food and stuff like that. Protein bars, which are really, let's face it, candy bar candy bars with a little bit of protein. So, it's smart to plan it out, play it out, and all that. So, Todd, tell me, what was your if you had to pick a favorite thing or event or anything of the sort at the Arnold, what did you enjoy the most?
What did I enjoy the most out of the
Yeah,
Arnold?
because
Jeez.
you were able to interview everybody. It looks like,
Yeah.
weren't you?
All right. So it was kind of surreal for me because I had it was kind of surreal for me because I had to talk to some of these people before, but like having the mic allowed me to cut lines basically.
Ah, okay, interesting. Okay,
But
so
as I got to approach people that I'd never spoken to before really, or I'd spoken to very briefly,
right.
and allowed me to ask some deeper questions that wasn't like a blow off because and then that was the Thursday night was kind of the launch pad that set me up to get the better interviews later on. Like I knew Eric already, I knew
Mhm.
Wesley already, so I could set those up before we even got to Ohio.
Right.
But a lot of the ones I set up, people kind of blew me off.
Mhm.
So I think now it's like we had some Olympians in there. So it kind of I think next time people will be more quick to take me up on the offer.
Right.
'Cause, I mean, I hadn't established myself as that, like a credible interviewer. Like,
Right.
so
Right.
when I point from I'm sitting in the restaurant and I point up to a window and I'm like, I've got that suite there that's actually turned into a studio. Well, I'd like to interview you. It could come across as creepy if you say it to a young lady or something,
Yeah, yeah, of course.
right?
Context is
So
everything for sure.
obviously, getting men to come back to your hotel room that are 100 pounds bigger than you is easier than getting a woman
Yeah.
to come back, and it's like, I'm not even staying in that room, but they don't know that.
Right, right.
Right.
It's your studio setup room that you've prepared for this, in order to do your video production. Yeah, and your content production. No, that makes perfect sense. And like you said, approaching, and you've got a small crew right with you, so that also makes you more, I guess, credible or obviously a media person versus just a fan. Which again makes it more likely that they'll be cool with the approach. So let's see. For me, I know I met, man, I met everybody, which is crazy. That's one of the things about the Arnold that for people who have never gone, you get access to people that is incredible. I met and shot the shit for like 10 or 15 minutes with Lee Priest at Pro's Gym. Apparently, next time I go to Australia, I can go hang with Lee. If he ever goes to Puerto Rico, I have to host him. So
It's crazy because Lee is one of my all-time favorite bodybuilders.
he's amazing. He's an amazing individual. He talked to me. He makes you feel like he knows you already.
Okay.
He's like that kind of charisma, natural warmth and charisma. He's an amazing individual for sure. Like I will absolutely take him up on that offer if I ever go to Australia, for sure.
I see, it's funny because apparently I didn't look nervous in any of those interviews,
You didn't.
but
I saw them. Yeah.
okay. I like,
Yeah.
you know, a couple people who knew me said they could tell I was nervous, or maybe they were guessing,
Right.
but I mean, there were a couple of times I was super nervous.
So who made you nervous? Just out of curiosity. Like, was it like the meeting your hero kind of a thing?
No, it was like I'm not really good with emotions in general. I don't really understand my emotions. That's why I'm bad with other people's emotions. That's why people say I'm such a dick is because I'm insensitive or inconsiderate, or I'm
Right.
so blunt, I trample their feelings. But what I try to do typically is I try to analyze what am I feeling and I try to understand it. But a
Mhm.
lot of times I don't notice until there's already a psychosomatic symptom.
I got you.
So right before Janecki got there to the studio, the banner wasn't in. I hadn't seen the banner, and I think banners look like shit.
Uh-huh.
But I should have trusted Jennifer would have good taste because I thought that sounded stupid, and I think that actually looks kind of cool.
It does.
So,
It looks
yeah,
really
so
cool.
like the banner looked cool, but I didn't know that.
Right.
So Kai's freaking out because there's no banner, and he thinks that without the banner, no one's going to know who I am.
Right.
And so I'm like looking at my hands, and my hands were just shaking like this. And I was just like, why am I nervous? I've lifted with Janicki on 2 separate occasions.
Right, it's not like it's
He
brand new.
he
Like,
I
it's
actually
yeah,
feel like he likes me, like, we're friends, there's no reason for me to be nervous. I
yeah,
was shaking like a leaf, right? And then as soon as he got there, completely still. And then with Wesley, who I've seen like 5 times that weekend already,
yeah,
it's like I wasn't shaking, and then after he left, I was just bouncing off the walls. I had so much nervous energy.
yeah, yeah. No, I get that. The whole like so for me, my experience with Lee was amazing. The other person I met that I did not expect to feel that instant friendship and connection, another guy who's super charismatic, was Brandon Hendrickson. He was amazing. Like the warmest guy. I've got pictures in like he gave me a hug like we've been bros forever. And also, Todd, he gave me the biggest compliment I've ever gotten ever from a pro athlete, which is like, bro, you're fucking jacked. Because I've been on that growth phase and I was so skinny from the contest. I'm like 40 pounds up now, of which most of them are seem to be muscle new gains that, are the air muscle memory, whatever it is. But when Brandon Hendrickson tells you that, and you're a 54-year-old man who's been busting his ass, it feels really good.
How
It
much
felt
you
really
weighing
good.
right now?
I'm 203 this morning,
Okay,
as of this morning.
okay.
So and things are feeling good. I'm now in a health phase for the next 8 weeks to kind of stabilize the gains. Did some blood work, so we wanted to bring it back down a little bit.
You're in
You know,
Tennessee?
say what?
You're in Tennessee?
I'm in Alabama, actually,
Oh,
Birmingham, Alabama.
alright.
Yeah. So,
'Cause I was supposed to go train with Brandon, I think, and
oh, is it in Huntsville?
we hadn't figured it out, right?
Okay.
I was like, "Okay," and I know that I'm supposed to lift with Carlos in Arkansas, so
Okay. Well,
I could swing by Birmingham and lift with
oh, that
you.
would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, you could come to my gym, and we've got a couple of BB pros too that I could like get in here.
Well,
Uh,
I wanna see you, man. You're
well,
my IFBB
and
pro.
I'm truly flattered, and so do I. And you're welcome to stay. Bring your crew, man. Let's make a party out of it for
Yeah, I
sure.
usually do bring a film crew with me. I'll check this time before I set the appointments up with these guys if they're okay with me bringing a film crew.
Yeah, let me know. Also, within an hour from here, from Birmingham, Eman Hunter is a native of Huntsville, Alabama, which is an hour away. So that's another stop you could make too, like on your way to wherever you want to go. It's just an hour north of here. And Emmanuel Hunter, I don't know if you've been looking at him, but he looks freaking phenomenal in men's physique. He's top three at the Arnold UK for sure. I think
Oh,
he came in fourth at Arnold in Ohio. So anyway, check him out. I know men's physique is not so much your flavor, but yeah, that division has been very interesting. I've done the deep dive since I started competing in that. So even though, just so you know, I may dip my toes into classic next year. I might, depending on the look and all that, and the legs and how that's
if
coming in.
legs are your strong suit,
Hmm.
there's
They
no
are,
rational reason not to do classic.
yeah, yeah. And I've got like there's a few more than a few competitors in my gym. Half of them are men's physique, half of them are classic, and they both want to pull me to their camp. You know how it goes. They both want me. No, come with us. And I'm like, if I learn the poses, there's no reason I couldn't do both. I mean, depends. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll have fun with that. So anyway, Todd, tell me any other highlights about that weekend that you loved, or anything else you want to like share? Because I mean, and I met the man himself, Ronnie. I met Ronnie and talked to him for about a minute and a half. He was phenomenal. He was such a kind soul.
So
I
out of
mean,
curiosity, when you approach someone that's a legend like that, does that
uh
make you nervous?
no, no, I'm a total extrovert. I'm completely an extrovert.
Yeah,
I
that
I
would
have
scare the shit
I've
out
never met
of me.
anyone that makes me
Like, yeah,
nervous.
I wouldn't do that unless I had to. Walk
Really?
one like Ronnie or even though let me put it this way,
uh
Jay had to go out of his way to talk to me at the
Really?
States last year because he was just like and walked over. He's like, "How you been, man?" He's like, because I usually leave people alone because I assume they're so sick of talking to people, they don't
uh
want to talk to me. So
Yeah.
it's funny, like Jay Cutler went out of his way to talk to me. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, all right, sweet.
So one thing that did happen, there is one event where I did get kind of like frozen because I didn't expect it, so I wasn't really ready. And it was I went to Pro's gym to train
Uh-huh.
with Josh,
Uh-huh.
and we were walking in, and Nick Walker crossed like literally in the hallway,
Yeah.
and we locked eyes about hey, and I was so like flabbergasted that he was there that I like an idiot. I went like "Bleh, bleh, bleh." I just couldn't get a word out. He just kind of smiled, and nodded and kept on walking. But the funny part is that Josh then told me you'd realize that because you were staring at Nick like an idiot. Wesley and Mike Summerfield just walked by you, right by you, and you didn't even see them,
Oh, wow.
which was hilarious because I would have loved to chat with any of them, really. So yeah. Next year, man, next year I'm gonna go. They're adding an extra expo day for
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah, I
So
know.
I'm gonna make a week out
Thursday,
of it.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and my team is adamant they wanna have a booth for the 2 supplement lines.
Nice.
So
Okay.
it's like, that's gonna cost 40 or 50,000 for sure.
Yeah. No, that's gonna be an investment for sure.
Yeah.
That's gonna be an
Well,
investment.
it's gonna be a I wouldn't call it investment. It's
Uh,
just a calculated loss. I mean, there's no way we're gonna make any
you're
money.
gonna make that money. Yeah,
We're
in,
gonna
in 4
lose
days.
enormous amounts of money, but it's just a legitimacy thing.
Yeah. No, it
The
is.
idea would be to use the time wisely, so I'm actually getting more interviews in and
Sure.
stuff while the booth is there to promote me. I don't know how much time I'd spend at the booth. That sounds scary as shit.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, as long as you
100,000
have
people.
crew, you can set it up or you have your little corner like the other you saw some of the other guys how they did it. They had their area with like the 2 chairs and a little table. You could do your filming there or even rest and chill. I ended up hanging out with shout out by the way, speaking of nice people because fuck, everybody I met was like the nicest person ever. Justin Harris and his
Oh, it's
family.
a phone booth?
Yes, that's where I hung out the whole time. They made me feel like part of their family, and I really wanted to like just publicly say thank you so much. I had an incredible conversation with him about AI and this AI he's been training and all that. You and him together, I couldn't imagine the insanity of that conversation. If you
Eh,
if you talked AI with him, that would be insane, in my
uh,
opinion. But
usually. I don't know what we talk about whatever the fuck comes up, you know? And
for sure.
surprisingly, when we lift, we would just lift. We were not, like, talking about a bunch of shit.
Well, because you're lifting though,
In
that's because you're
fact, I will say that he was there when I set my incline bench PR, was 365
Jesus.
for
Okay.
1, and he was just like I was like, "Whoa, that was a PR." He's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You didn't say anything. You didn't even get psyched up." I was like, "You're here." Like, "You're here.
Yeah.
I don't need to get psyched up more than that." Like,
Yeah,
that's
for
enough.
sure. Now, am I right? I think he said, he was training Brandon, right, for the show?
Yeah,
Like, he was
he's coaching
Brandon
the
came in phenomenal, by the way.
yeah.
Talking about legs and older people, holy shit, his legs are like I mean, Justin did up. I'll be honest, and this is not just because Justin, I consider him now my friend and so on, but honestly, I think between Brandon and Martin, you could make the argument that we could have swapped those 2. I think we could have swapped those 2 places. He could have been 4th, instead of Martin, but what do I know? I mean, I'm a novice, so
I've learned from other people's mistakes, and I don't
Mhm.
even sound off on that shit. When I know both people, I'm not gonna say what I think.
Gotcha. Okay, fair. And
Yeah.
again, I'm talking with the big gigantic disclaimer that I am a newbie to the sport, and there's no this is an objective observation. This is not a call of anything else than these are the aesthetics I saw that day. And I also realized this being the first big show that I've seen in person, what a difference it makes to be there in person versus watching a live stream. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's way different. It's
It is a completely
way
different
different.
animal.
Just like how you look different in person.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You looked exactly like I pictured you, though.
Uh,
Honestly, yeah, you did just as broad as I thought, like a real life Wolverine. Like that's what I thought when
it's
I saw you. Like,
exactly
oh,
what I was
Wolverine. There we
going
go.
for. I was from
Yeah,
Michigan, we're the same height,
yeah,
everything's the same.
yeah.
So, I just don't have adamantium skeleton, but I'm almost impossible to kill no matter how much poison I put in me.
There you go. You got that
Yeah.
healing factor for sure.
If I was a space marine, I would have been death card pre-heresy.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, kind of changing the subject, unless we can go back to it whenever. So nerdy shit. So the last 2 or 3 months, there's been some nerdy shit out there. Have you been able to watch anything in your busy schedule? Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Have you seen that yet?
Yes, of course. I watched that. I watched the episode 5, I think 3 times before
Yeah,
episode 6 came out. I
yeah.
watched every review of it from
Mm,
medieval historians and combat tacticians, and
hmm.
that up, down, left, and right, that is considered the most realistic, gritty knight combat that we've ever seen in Game of Thrones or any other history.
It was incredibly well done. The whole show. The whole show. This is how I know it's a good show. I watched it with my wife. The first 2 or 3 episodes were a little slow because it's a world building. We're setting up. So she was like, I don't know if I'd like it. But by the end of the third episode, when
Right.
the reveal happens,
Right.
she was hook, line, and sinker.
Mhm.
And she's a normie. She's not a nerd at all. She's like
Right.
a normal person,
Mhm.
which tells me that the show is that good. That it doesn't matter if you're a fantasy fan or not. It's just a good, solid show. Absolutely.
They finally stopped doing the woke shit, and they
Yeah.
a normal hero, basically a paladin, so
Yeah.
everybody
Exactly.
would love him.
Hmm.
Just do
No,
the right thing.
and making people like relatable. Like one of the things that they did and why I like the show so much more, even though I love all of them, even the last season of Game of Thrones, I'm okay with. It is what it is, you know. But I enjoyed them. But this show, because it humanizes everybody and the stakes are like so personal and local rather than high level and world changing, it makes you invested. It makes you really care for these people, you know, for Egg and Dunk and like, oh, what's gonna happen, you know? And the by the way, the end of the joust, that end scene, I'm not gonna spoil it for anyone who's not seen it. That was fucking crazy. Now that was Game of Thrones right there. Let's just say when he takes off the helmet scene,
Right, and,
what the fuck? Having not read the book that it came,
well,
you know,
they didn't belabor the point, but by wearing his son's armor, it wasn't a good fit, so it's
right?
useless against crush attacks.
Hmm. Yep, and they showed it, and they showed it.
I mean, if you ever played Dungeons& Dragons 2nd edition, like,
Yes,
you
my
get
favorite edition.
fo
Yeah.
the mace knocks 4 points off of plate armor.
Yep.
It's completely goes right through chain armor.
Hmm.
Padding armor is the only thing that gives you a bonus against bludgeoning weapons, and it's
Right.
used against piercing and slashing.
Hmm.
So, you know, the bludgeoning attacks are vicious to the head.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't realize like many of the two-handed weapons back then, the big swords did as much damage, uh, just the bludgeoning damage from its weight, almost as much as the slashing from the blade itself.
Well,
Like people don't realize that you could like knock somebody upside the head and just that's it, take them out without actually even slicing through their skin. You
for
know?
fantasy, they do that a lot, but reality is the two-handed sword was used to taking out horses' legs. It's an
Right. Just
anti-cavalry weapon.
hmm. Yeah.
Right, and then, there's pikemen, and then you'd have a claymore, which
Yeah.
was made specifically for taking the legs off horses,
Yeah.
which bastard sword, a hand and a half sword.
Yeah.
As most of the footman flails were the
Hmm.
two-handed weapons, pikes, polearms, is to take a mounted knight off his horse.
Right. Because back then the mounted knight was the tank of their time,
Yeah.
right? It was basically like the unstoppable force until people started trying to, you know, game it or figure it out, like how to counter that for that, which took a while.
The horseman flail is the one-handed weapon.
Yeah.
The swords are gonna be curved,
Hmm.
otherwise they'll get caught when you hack into something. Like,
Yeah.
the cavalry weaponry is totally different than the weaponry used to disarm cavalry, which
Hmm.
is totally different than what you would have infantry use on
Right.
infantry.
What a
That there's so
footman
many
needs.
different
Yeah.
units, and you don't see that in fantasy because they wanna make the armor and the weapons look cool, and so you can tell them apart on the battlefield, but
Yeah.
individuality on the battlefield is a kiss of death.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't wanna be targeted out, assassinated, or kidnapped and ransomed.
Hmm. No, for sure. And that's an interesting I actually had a conversation with a Japanese warfare historian, and he was talking about like the couple of times that Japan during the shogunate periods, there were a couple of times that they had incursions try to make a headway into China, right? Just like the Chinese always tried to get in there, and the Koreans also tried to like take over, and the Mongols even had their shot at Japan. Uh, but in any case, one of the things that he said that was a problem was the way the Japanese were used to fighting was an almost one-on-one, very individualized kind of approach to battle, versus the Chinese who had an infantry rank and file approach. So they would just, they had their organized soldiers, which made them wildly more effective as units on the field rather than having all these little disparate forces that the Japanese would use. Apparently, there were a couple. I don't recall the details of the battles, but there were a couple of battles where that was arguably the deciding factor. Even though the Japanese may have had larger numbers and so forth, it was just the fact that they were fighting in a less organized way than the Chinese, who had the same weapons, the same armor, the same techniques, the same maneuvers. So go figure. Interesting for sure. How that played out. So right. So we like Knight of Seven Kingdoms. Then we both approve. Can't wait for the next one. Um, which I will flip this around. That's a show that we know was made well. Now let me tell you about a show that was a complete and utter clusterfuck.
Was it the Alien Homeworld one?
No, way
Oh,
worse than that.
way worse.
Way worse than that. Starfleet Academy.
Oh,
Have
I
you
didn't
seen any of
bother
that?
looking into that one. The
Ooh,
drinker convinced me not to even give it a chance.
Critical Drinker?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw his stuff and I'm like,
Was
surely it's not that bad. He's
wait,
right.
what did they have, like, a gay pacifist Klingon or something?
Yes.
Yeah, that's enough for me, man. This is a war where you're a race where they think of nothing but killing. So, like,
Right.
Worf being tame is a stretch.
Right.
To
Right.
having someone be more pussified than Worf,
Yeah.
that's I'm not interested. That
Well,
is
the error I think there in thought, and this is the woke Hollywood error, they always because they have to do the message. Uh since they have to do the message, and it is this. They could have made him gay and still be a fierce warrior Klingon. One thing
yep,
does not preclude the other.
just because 'cause
Being
you're
gay
gay
does
doesn't
not
make you
mean
a pussy.
effeminate,
Yeah.
you know? If they had taken that approach, now that could have been an interesting thing. That could have been interesting. Like, how does a society of warriors handle, like gay people? Do
Like,
they,
make him a straight pussy
right?
or make him just a gay Klingon. But a
Yeah.
gay pussy Klingon, it's just too fucking rude. I
Yeah.
can't tolerate.
And there's no point storytelling wise
Yeah,
other
it's
than,
just shitting all over the IP just to exert dominance over people who are actually fans. It's like they find these angry, hateful woke people that
mhm.
hate science fiction fans, and so they shit all over our IP that we've been in love with for 40 or 50 years.
Yeah, yeah, and then they
And they're
claim
all
to,
like
like,
20
love
years
the
old.
IP. It's like, you've never even watched an episode.
I know. You're
And
not
I can
even a
tell
fan.
because
Who
of
the
how you're
fuck
writing it,
to
you know?
contribute to anything? Fuck you.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, I'm all about subverting conventions if you have a good story to tell. Doing something weird or strange, swinging for the fences because you have something interesting that you want to try out. Sometimes it fails, but at least you tried and it's an honest attempt at telling a good story. I'll forgive that all day long. But if what you're doing is trying to message me and hide it behind a story, I'm gonna tell you to fuck off. just, I
You
just,
know, the Wayans brothers did parody.
uh
Why can't these woke people do parody? If you hate Star Trek that much, then
mhm.
do a parody of Star Trek.
Yeah,
Call it
yeah, for
Star
sure.
Treks and make
Yeah,
it a bunch of gay Klingons that are making doilies, and that's fine. But like, don't actually call it Star Trek and shit all over the IP.
agreed,
That just
agreed.
because you have the power to do something, because someone hired you because you checked enough cross-sectional boxes, and
Yeah,
this is your one time to blow up Christmas, don't be the Grinch and blow up Christmas.
yeah.
Just
No,
because
for
you
sure.
have no loved ones and are alone, you don't have to ruin Christmas for everyone. It's like if you're so stupid you can't follow science fiction, don't ruin it for everyone by making it all about some social studies message.
100%. 100%. Well, again, it's what is your job as a show writer? To me, your job should be to entertain. We watch these things because we love them and we want to be entertained.
So I
The
guess
everything should serve that purpose
see,
of
I'm on the
telling the story,
opposite. I would want to retain the purity of the intellectual property,
right?
even if it was a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Where it's just some type of really harsh situation that the
Mhm,
audience might hate it. If
mhm,
that's what the story actually calls for, because that's how it would fucking happen, then
right.
that's how it's gonna fucking happen.
Yeah.
Like, if
Well,
you have
yeah.
to kill off the main character because the villain's just smarter and
Yeah.
the main character showed mercy,
Mhm.
and then I'm totally gonna kill that person off, whether you like them or not as an audience.
I mean, so you're talking about you would be the George R. Martin style of writing. Like everything serves the story,
Well,
whatever
it's
the story needs.
yeah, I don't give a fuck if anyone likes my story. I'm gonna
Right.
make it so pure that
Mhm.
there's gonna be a handful of people that think it's the greatest thing ever written, and 50% of people like, "This is shit, I don't wanna watch it."
Yeah. Yeah. As long as you're true to your storytelling and the story you want to tell. I mean, that's the thing. And that's what I think that's the element that all of these people miss. Is that you're not there to preach, brother. If I wanted to get preached at, I'd go to church. You know, like it's not entertainment. And hijacking IPs for the message is stupid because all it makes is make people resent the message rather than convert allies to your cause by showing them your cause is just, by forcing it down people's throats. We're humans. Humans will rebel. We will riot. We will not do it.
You can guilt
So,
people into putting money into your donation box a
yeah.
couple times,
Yeah.
but if you keep doing it, people are gonna break the donation box and take their money back.
Yeah. For sure. That's for sure. That is for sure. So, all right, man. So, Starfleet Academy, definitely for both of us,
I
thumbs down, let it
I
die.
can't say. It was just repulsive.
Yeah, it was bad. It really was. Let's see.
I mean,
New
well, wasn't it supposed to be in San Francisco? Isn't that where Starfleet is based? But
It
the show
is. It
doesn't
is.
take place in San Francisco, does it?
Starfleet Academy?
Yeah.
No, it's out in space somewhere
That
in
doesn't
like a
make sense
training
because
ship. Yeah.
Starfleet Command is in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Cadets would be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So right now, boom, you just violated core tenets of the Star Trek continuum.
Oh, there's so much violation.
I won't tolerate any canon breakage.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like they have Starfleet, the Academy is one side, and then they have this war college, which is another side, and they're like competing.
Why the fuck
Uh
would that doesn't make any sense. The
it
War
doesn't.
College is the academy.
Agreed.
The
That would make
fuck?
sense.
That's the whole
Yeah.
point of a navy is for war.
Yeah. And then the other thing, by the way, the actress they chose, is it Holly Hunter, who they chose to be the captain mentor of these people? The whole show, I swear to you, Todd, it was written by somebody with a foot fetish. And I'll tell you why. In
What?
every freaking scene, she's lounging like a cat on the captain's chair, like sideways, like she's at a coffee shop in San Francisco, basically, with her feet bare, showing zero respect for the rank and file or the ship or anything, just being like this empathy counselor
Well,
to a
I
bunch
don't
of,
understand, like,
oh my God, it's
how
horrible.
would a captain of a ship be on the bridge
Mhm.
without shoes on?
Yeah, like all the time.
That's there's no military anything ever that's gonna let you walk around barefoot.
Yeah. No, and she's not only walking around barefoot or whatever, she's sitting sideways, like lounging on the chair.
Right,
Like,
I don't know if anyone would discipline her on the grounds of not using the chair correctly,
mhm,
improper usage of throne, but the fact of not having acceptable hygienic footwear on would be enough for someone to get her in trouble no matter what her rank is, because you can't run around barefoot
yeah,
in a fucking
it's,
starship
yep.
and not run the risk of hurting yourself. And if you're in a position of authority, you need to be able to control. I can't imagine anyone on a submarine doing that.
Uh,
A spaceship is a giant submarine.
basically. Yeah.
Right. So you'd think that all the rules to a submariner would apply to a spacefarer.
Right. maybe a little bit more relaxed because there's more space, and by the way, the Submariner thing I happen to know a lot about because of my cousin was a retired cat chief of boat. So I know all the stories and all the things, and it was a submarine that he was the I guess he was the highest of the non-officers for 30 years, so he's told me the stories and
So
all the
like the
things. And
E10.
I have no idea what it's master of boat, I guess is what it's called, or master
Master
chief. There's
Chief, I
some,
think, is a 10, E10.
yeah, sounds about right. I mean,
Yes.
like I said, he was the highest of the non-officers
Right.
of the but in any case, like, I mean, the thing was an absolute disaster. Then you have this weird holographic chick that is like, I don't know, has like a speech impediment, but she's a hologram, but she apparently can blow bubbles underwater because holograms somehow have solidity. I mean, it's just a disaster. It's just an absolute disaster. So anyway, let's get that awful taste out of our mouths. Is that an Eagle Fang fucking shirt you're wearing, by the way?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Took me a second to realize it because it's been like right about this level
Yeah.
on the camera. And
It's
I
like one of my favorite shirts because, I'm not very approachable, but when I have a funny shirt on, it completely cracks the joke. You know what I mean? Like, it's
yeah,
just so
yeah.
silly on me that
Yeah,
it
that it's
makes
like
people just laugh, and then
clearly it's okay.
laugh, I can smile, and now
Yeah,
the ice is broken, I didn't have to do anything. So it's
nice.
kinda like an introvert tractor beam
I got it. Okay.
where I catch people and pull them in without me having to approach them.
Oh, that's hilarious. That
Yeah.
is freaking hilarious. But yeah, I just realized it. By the way, I know it's silly, I know it's soap opera-ish, but I love that show. Cobra Kai was
It's
it's
such a
such
good
an entertaining show that
yeah,
doesn't take itself too seriously and is very faithful to its canon. That's the
right.
thing. Even though it's kind of silly, a little sillier than the original movie was, it's
Mhm.
got a little bit of more humor to it. It's still super faithful to all the characters, all the principles. It doesn't violate any of the ground rules it set, which is again good writing because I mean it just is. It was just good writing. By the way, other news that I just found out, and I don't know how I missed this. Apparently, the Apple TV is making a Neuromancer series based on the William Gibson original novel.
Wait,
This should be
Apple's doing it?
interesting. Yeah, Apple,
They
which
might not fuck it up.
they might not. So, have you seen in Apple? There's two shows, well, actually three that I can think of that are Apple shows that were very good and intriguing. One was Pluribus, which is the one
I
where the
started it, and
uh
I just didn't like it. I'm like,
really,
"This is written by women for women,
you
and I'm
think
just
like,
gonna get sick of this."
oh man, you might want to give it a shot. It takes a while, but you might want to give it a shot. It gets interesting.
But it's like she's literally like Stephanie Mays. Like, that's who they cast her as. She's like an analog to Stephanie Mays.
Yeah,
And I'm like, "This is totally written for women by women," because
yeah.
no dude's gonna know who Stephanie Mays is,
Maybe
except for
my
me.
maybe
But
my estrogen was really high when I was watching it then, but
but
I found it really entertaining.
well, the way I looked at it was like, the the Stephanie Mays crowd would be
Uh,
the easiest girls to crack of the romance novel crowd because I know
yep,
nerd shit. Does
yep.
that make sense? Like, if I'm
It
gonna
does.
and if this is a Venn diagram and mine overlaps with women with like that, this is me and this is women, and
Uh-huh.
that's the Venn diagram,
But that's where it would be
like,
though.
this tiny sliver of interface
Yeah.
would be Stephanie May's writing. Like,
Yeah.
that's
No, I gotcha.
yeah, it's like I was like, "That's the only way I can have common ground with with the other gender."
Yeah, I absolutely get that. So, but anyway, so I found that one entertaining. The other one was Severance, which I don't know if you've seen
I started
Severance.
watching that too, I couldn't get into it. I'm like,
Really?
"This is so fucking slow." I started watching
Oh man.
Tyrann, and I couldn't get into it, it was too slow.
Which
I was
one?
watching, See, it was too slow. I watched
C was slow.
Napoleon,
C was
it
slow.
was too slow. Everything Apple's made, I've started watching. I'm like, "God damn it, this is slow."
For All Mankind, did you watch that one?
Which one?
For All Mankind. It's made by Ron Moore, the guy who did Battlestar Galactica the remake.
Oh, really?
So yeah, give that
When
a whirl.
when you mean
Um,
when you mean the remake, you mean the one from the '90s, right?
No, I mean like the sci-fi super gritty Battlestar Galactica. That guy.
One with
Like
Starla or Starbuck or whatever.
yeah, yeah, with Cara Thrace as Starbuck.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that one. The really gritty, really amazing show.
Right, that one, I'm gonna rewatch that because basically, there's an episode where I don't like what they did with her character in season
Yeah.
3. I
That's
stopped
yeah.
watching it, and then I found out years later they fixed their mistake the next episode. I
They did.
literally just stopped watching. I'm like, "Fuck this. That was my only favorite character. Fuck you guys," and I'm not watching the show anymore. And
Oh,
then I
that's
found out years
hilarious.
later, she's fine, dude. She's fine. And so I
Yeah,
have to go
yeah, the
back and
story
rewatch
makes
all of
sense, bro. Just keep going. It eventually makes sense. But yeah, it does. It does. So anyway, that dude has and it's a so For All Mankind is an alternate history show and it starts in the 60s where it deviates from our storyline and it imagines how NASA would develop given these sort of different parameters, historical parameters. There's a couple of things that happen where, like, and I think if I recall correctly, the first thing, the big change is that the Russians beat us to the moon.
them.
And then
Interesting.
they start developing like, what if? And every season is like a decade. So, like the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. So good.
Mhm.
So good.
Did you see
Good,
Man
good,
in
good.
the High Castle? Or Man on the Tower,
Yes.
whatever it's called. That to
Yes.
me is like the epitome. That was one of the best shows ever,
Yeah. Yeah.
ever. It was
Yeah. The
so slow
quality,
to
the acting.
I tried to watch the first episode like 4 times, and
Yeah.
then after I got through the first episode, I was like, "This is a great show."
Yeah, it just takes a while to get into, and you have to like kind of understand the vibe to
Right.
then be able to like get into it.
If you don't know what the fuck the show's about, you don't
Yeah,
understand what details you're looking for. So
yeah,
your brain's getting exhausted trying to pick out significance from
hmm
really slow scenes.
yeah,
Like, oh, the camera panned over to this notebook and was there for 1.5 seconds.
yeah. Why is
What's the
that important?
significance of that? And really, it's just the director's lazy as fuck and didn't edit that out.
Yeah,
We did
yeah,
not need a minute, 1.5 seconds on the book. It could have been a half a second on the book.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it is overall though an incredible show. Like absolutely, like that's an A+ show, The Man in the High Castle, for
Yeah.
sure, for
So good.
sure. So yeah, yeah, that one was so good. Let's see things that are coming up. There's that Monarch show if you're into the whole kaiju monster thing.
I tried
You
to
know,
watch the first season. That just was crap. I was
it's
just, this
just
is horrible
it's too
crap.
all over the place.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't. I can't tell what the show wants to be. I can't tell. Does it want me to like cheer for the monsters and the kaiju? Does it want me to? Is it an allegory that the kaiju are like nature fighting us back? I don't know.
I think that they
It was
just had
confusing.
no plot, so they had to do a lot of filler bullshit.
Oh,
So it's a
okay.
lot of character development on characters you don't give a fuck about.
Yeah, yeah. True, true. That's true. Yeah, because I found it really like all over the place. Like I'm like, what
They're
am I
using
supposed to
the
be cheering for
characters of
here?
modern day as a vehicle for you to understand the characters that started the Monarch program and how the Monarch program was instrumental in educating whether Godzilla did X, Y, or Z throughout history. Basically, they're
Right.
trying to retcon and glue together a bunch of shit for plot with a bunch of more shit.
More shit.
And they're trying to distract you with character development that you don't give a fuck about because the characters are shallow and two-dimensional at best.
So it's like a storytelling Rube Goldberg machine.
Right.
Basically, let's just make everything kind of fucking fit and do all these things in a very complicated way that is absolutely unnecessary.
Yeah,
So,
and then they have to on top of that, because there's so much talking shit, throw
uh,
in random action with
right.
more crap that looks like junk because the
Uh,
money wasn't spent on it to look good.
that's true. Yeah. So that's I will agree to that. And speaking of spending money on things that don't need to have money spent on, this Harry Potter series thing that they're about to launch,
Shut it the
oof,
fuck down.
it's
Shut it.
so
It's
you don't
cursed.
need to fuck with
It's
perfection, man.
cur it's don't remake The Lord of the fucking Rings. Don't remake Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Fuck you. They're fine.
Yep.
But they're
So
so old. Shut the fuck up, they're so old.
they still stand
They
up
look
though.
fine. They
Yes.
look there's not anything better that's coming out of Hollywood than that.
I mean, you could redo the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. You'll never ever you'll never even get close to the quality and the passion and the overall power of that
Do you
trilogy.
remember the Rings of Power
Oh
with
my
this
god.
scene where they introduce the Sauron character, and it just
Yes.
looks like it's in, like, a shitty set? Like,
Yep.
they have, like, just a big pool, and
Mhm.
they have cameras pointing down at the surface of the water, and they have, like, some fake bullshit that's supposed to be a sunset.
Yeah.
Like, hello? You
Yep.
could have filmed a really dramatic thing like Pirates of the Caribbean for that scene
Mhm. Yep.
with real water and had a
Yeah,
real
yeah,
sunset with a
yeah,
real fucking animatronic monster coming out of the water. Like, what the fuck are you doing? This is the Lord of the Rings, and
yep,
it looks like shit. It looks cheaper than Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
which is bad. For
Well,
a show that
it
spent,
was
what
30
was it,
years ago.
10,000,000 per episode or some
Yeah,
crazy number like
Sarah
that?
Michelle Gellar was paid 750,000 an episode back then.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
one set, like the Napa
Mhm.
Valley Massacre where, Xander loses his eye
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Fillion's character,
yeah,
that scene with the barrels of wine was $7,000,000, and it looked more professional than any of the scenes in The Rings of Power.
oh, yeah, The Rings of Power was just an unmitigated disaster. Same with the, oh my god, the Wheel of Time. What the fuck did
That
they
was so
do?
fucking embarrassing.
Whew,
That
I
was
mean,
so fucking embarrassing.
like, they've retconned it to, well, again, to do the message,
To
and they
Moraine
fucked it up.
Sedai, shut the fuck up, Moraine Sedai. Randall Thor is the Dragon Reborn.
Yes.
It's the fucking 2 books we're building up to him being revealed as the main character.
Yep, but
It's
no.
you can't take him away as the main character and make him some type of stupid attachment to Moraine Sedai,
Yeah,
and then they cast her as some nobody, Rosamund whatever the fuck, and
yeah,
we're
Rosamund
supposed to
Pike.
know who that is? Like, that's your star? That's your top billing as some E-list girl?
Yep. That's what they did. And it came out across as badly as it sounds.
I don't think they understood how important that series was.
I don't think the producers loved this. So, a common thread here is this: when you have people writing and producing these shows that truly don't care about the IP, if they're looking at it as a job, something that just pays the bills that they don't really truly care about, it shows. It shows. It absolutely shows. And it's unfortunate because now nobody's going to touch those IPs in God knows how long. They're just not gonna do it. Now we've got freaking Andy Serkis doing like the quest for Gollum or some crazy shit.
Who cares? At least
Like,
he's a fucking master thespian, and he
yeah,
bleeds, sweat, tears this shit. Andy
yeah.
Serkis has been involved in everything that matters in the past 30 years, and
He
he's doing a
he's
fucking
great.
phenomenal job.
Yeah, I'm just wondering about like the choice of like if you're gonna retell a story from the Tolkien worlds, there's so many. Like choosing that one seemed odd to me, and it
Dude,
seems odd to me because
I
like all
wanna
these actors are 20 years older now.
let's do the Lich King of Agamar. Let's
Yeah,
have
okay.
some of these kings fall to their greed and end up becoming ring wraiths.
Yeah, and that would be a whole story, right? With a beginning, a middle, and an end, which would be good to tell,
Like
and entertaining.
fall of, Lord Soth from Ravenloft.
Oh my god, that would
Jesus
be
Christ,
fucking great.
that'd be fucking unreal. People would never look at paladins the same.
Yep. Or speaking now that we're veering into Dragonlance there, like the twins trilogy from Dragonlance. I don't know if you've read that one.
Raistlin?
Yeah, Raistlin Majere and Caramon, Caramon
Yeah,
Majere.
Paramount, yeah.
Yeah, those were phenomenal books. That trilogy was better than the original. Talk about world building and
Yeah.
some cool shit, and it had everything.
Dragons of Autumn Twilight by
Yep,
Margaret Weiss and Tracy
Tracy
Hickman
Hickman.
was
That's
probably
right.
the best fucking Dungeons& Dragons trilogy at that time.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
That
It it the only thing that ever came close to that, as far as like
right?
novels based on AD&D stuff, for
The
me,
Drizzt
the R.A.
Do'Urden.
Salvatore stuff,
Yeah,
the
the
Drizzt
Drizzt Do'Urden,
Do'Urden original stuff. Icewind.
which he is
Yeah,
the most popular character in
yeah,
all of
yeah,
D&D history.
yeah. I
Everybody
mean,
knows who that is. Well, I shouldn't say everyone, but he's recognizable even to, housewives that don't know anything about.
yeah. If nothing else, they know Drizzt
Yeah.
for
If
sure.
everybody in Greece would recognize
Yeah,
the dude with black skin, white hair, and 2 scimitars with a
yeah,
halter.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the panther, right? He had the little panther and all that, which is so cool. It's such a cool character concept too. But yeah, I mean, those are properties that I think are those are movie ready, man. Those are all movie ready.
Dude, a
Like you could
Mental
do some
Horizon
cool shit.
movie about Drizzt being the only good drow.
That would be
Dude,
phenomenal.
just a movie on Menzo Baranzan politics. It's just Menzo Baranzan itself would be a sick fucking series, just
Oh
like
yeah.
Avatar. Like,
Yes.
if
Yes.
Tim Burton and James Cameron did Menzo Baranzan, that would be fucking wild.
Yeah, and it would be great because then I mean, forget all the other stuff. Now you have a pure environment for storytelling
Mhm.
that's alien and it has its own rules that are really cool and interesting. And you could do the whole dynasties fighting, families, intrigue,
That's how
all
the
that
whole
shit.
first movie would just be the vehicle is you're a member of a like, the 11th house.
Right.
And you know that there is an assassination attempt on your queen mother.
Hmm.
And because they didn't kill every member of your house, you lived.
Hmm.
You now have the right to come back and kill every member of that house, but you don't
Right.
know an
Right.
army yet. So,
Right.
like, the whole movie is a gathering enough people from other houses that have been rejects from their houses,
Oh, that would be cool. That's a
army
cool concept.
misfits
Yeah.
that have like so like everyone's supposed to be a priestess of Lilith, right? But
Yeah.
the men that are intelligent are turned into wizards. And
Right.
then the stupid weak men are fighters.
Yep.
Nobody's a rogue. So if you
That's
went
right.
around and collected all the rogues that from all the houses, the people that the fifth child that no one loves, et
Yeah.
cetera,
Yeah.
and you built this army of orphans almost, these rogues, you
Hmm.
could slip inside that house, murder everyone in the night, and make yourself the lord. So it's the
Yeah.
House
Yeah.
of Rogues or something like
Oh,
that.
that would be super cool because it
Yeah,
would be like the uprising of the ne'er do wells or
it'd be
of the
like the French
misfits. You know?
Revolution at the
Yeah,
hands of Suicide Squad in a
yeah,
culture of black-skinned, white-haired elves that
yeah.
worship a spider goddess that's actually a demon queen. And then
That
they
is,
live
yeah,
underground,
yeah.
and that the whole alien civilization is extremely organized, but extremely evil and matriarchal.
I love it. I
So
love it.
basically it'd be like Seattle.
Yep. You know, another world building exercise, and I actually pitched this idea just for shits and giggles to my friend. I have a friend, Jose Molina, who's a producer. We were friends since been friends since high school. He helped produce Firefly. He's him
Mm.
and Joss Whedon. It was they worked together, and he moved on to. You can check his IMDb. He did Law and Order for a while, really Sci-Fi is where he cut his teeth. You know, he did some Star Trek stuff and all that. And one of the ideas that we had, and he laughed because he's like, Kurtzman would never go for it, was a entire show series based on the Romulan homeworld and the Romulans, and similar to your idea of Menzoberranzan, you know, the politics and the cloak and dagger intrigue of the Romulans, because they're, you know, they have that almost Japanese type culture, you know, which could have been super fun to write. But he's
That
like,
would be
yeah,
awesome.
Kurtzman's never gonna go for that. That
You know,
requires
I just
intelligence.
realized we went over in time,
Oh
but
shit. Okay.
we
Uh,
should come up with some cool themes for next week. Basically,
Absolutely. Let's do that.
I've been
Yeah.
studying a lot of Warhammer. Maybe we could go over like which was the coolest armor pre and post Horus Heresy.
We could do it. Let's do
Yeah.
another Warhammer episode. It's been a while since the last one, so let's
All
do
right,
it.
cool.
All right, guys. Thank you. Join us for the next one. You heard the doctor. Peace.